Battle Royale has done to video games what Isekai has done to anime. They're both 2010's trends that everyone calls trash, and yet everyone still admits that there are some good ones out there, and as a result, the genre isn't dead yet. While I'm not qualified to talk that much about Isekai since I've committed the unforgivable sin of not giving enough fucks to watch ReZero, I'm instead going to talk about what I see as the two good BR games. In my eyes, they are Apex Legends and Warzone. Having put an ungodly amount of time into one of these games, and having realised that I can get views by mentioning the other, I'm going to make a guide on how to play both of these. Warzone uses the same engine as that game that was made by the developers of Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Apex Legends uses the same engine as that game that was made by the developers of Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Warzone was a surprise, as it was seen as better than the Battle Royale that was a key selling point for a game by the same publisher. Apex Legends was a surprise, as it was seen as better than the Battle Royale that was a key selling point for a game by the same publisher. The setup for Warzone will start with you purchasing the game for free. You will then see the icon for Warzone while downloading is the same icon as the full Modern Warfare game. Immediately start freaking the fuck out thinking that you've purchased the full game despite the fact the receipt explicitly said you had nothing in your account. Get in contact with your friends who own the game telling them to start a group call on WhatsApp because you're planning on getting Discord when you have more free time on your hands. Proceed to explain that reason over and over again when they ask you why you haven't got Discord yet. For Apex Legends, find the game and start the download. Text your friends telling them to download it because they got you to play Fortnite a few months ago and now the shoe is on the other foot. Realise they haven't added crossplay yet, because in true Japanese fashion, Sony decided to be a fucking tsundere. In Warzone, you get to customise a class which you may be able to pick up during the match. A good piece of advice is to look online at all the weapons that everyone says needs a nerf, and pick those. In Apex Legends, you currently have a choice of 12 legends, although only 6 of them are instantly unlocked. As for these new legends, Crypto is now useless since Bloodhound got buffed, Watson is useful if you're a camper, and I haven't bought the other 2. But if you want accurate advice for the original 8 characters, just watch my Titanfall characters in a nutshell video that I made a week after the game came out. It hasn't aged in the slightest. The character who you never win with, but wish you were playing when you're not using him. Never win with... In Warzone, a cutscene will play before you drop. This cutscene specifically is a very rare cutscene, and it's unlikely you'll ever see it again. Always aim for the high ground, make sure the roof you land on has access to stairs, and remember that fall damage is a thing. You'd be surprised how easy those are to forget. In Apex, you have a jump master, who will lead the whole team while dropping. It is always wise to aim for the 2 supply bins outside the location. If you are jump master, land there and loot quickly so you leave your teammates with nothing. And if you aren't the jump master, break from formation so that you leave the other 2 teammates to die in the more congested area. Like a good partner. In Warzone, the loot is tiered, and so you will not have much trouble deciding what to pick up. You can also collect money with which to buy kill streaks. Obviously, this is fake money, not actual money, although we shouldn't start giving Activision ideas. You can also find field upgrades, such as EMP drones. Fun fact, EMP does not actually stand for electromagnetic pulse, but early modern period. This is because the early modern period, like EMP'd areas, did not have electricity. In Apex Legends, the loot has more of a process to it, and it goes like this. Step 1. Find the R99. Step 2.
Apex Champion, Apex Champion, Apex Champion.
Warzone really wanted to immerse the player in its universe, and in this universe everyone maintains an erection at all hours of the day. That is why you move so slowly in the game, because obviously it's hard to walk while you're fully erect. But it does do a good job of immersing you in this other world. Another world. Isekai. Remind me, what happens in Isekais? Oh yeah, I guess we know what that means. I'll get into that later. In Apex Legends, the movement is actually quite fast paced, to a level where the decent distributions of height, coupled with the closer proximity of lootable areas, make it so the movement is fair, no matter which character you pick. Unless you pick Pathfinder, in which case... I'll get to that later. In order to show you what peak Warzone gameplay looks like, I'm going to go back to this clip here. So, After running him over, I made a pro decision. I could just reverse the car and finish the job without sacrificing cover, but that isn't what the pros would do. So, I get out the car and I see him bleeding out. I decide I want to finish him off quickly, so I switch from the rapid fire SMG over to the sniper rifle and use that to finish him off. All throughout this, my friends were saying, "Very good tactics, I sure love when you get out the vehicle unannounced," and since they liked it so much, I decided to do it again, mid-car chase. Now you might be saying that this is a bad tactic, but I won that game, so who's laughing now? In this play in Apex, I use a grappling hook and do that. You might say that's dumb, but I won that game, so who's laughing now? Well, I mean, probably the fella who carried me, but that's besides the point. In conclusion, if you like vehicles, play Warzone. If you like flexing your Titanfall knowledge on people, play Apex. And if you want professional advice on either of these games, then you can click off this video in 20 seconds, starting now. I'm adding this bit on the end just in case it didn't reach 20 seconds.